Don't ask for less fear, ask for more courage. Hey, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show and welcome back. We're the second week in the fourth quarter. We talked a lot about booking appointments last week. I would love to get even more comments. Thank you so much for the comments, for the shares, for the feedback, the private messages, the emails, the text messages. I love it. Today, I want to talk to you about 3 super easy things you can do to get even more appointments, but warning, don't do all 3 because you'll have more appointments than you'll know what to do with. So just pick one and then maybe do the next one the following week and then do the next one the following week. But I'm gonna give you all 3 today because that's how we roll on the Tom Ferry Show. And then I wanna give you some psychological hacks I use to get over your fear of the phone. So let's jump in, short show today. The first thing I want you to do, if you want to book a ton of appointments, write this in your notes. I want you to text every person in your phone. Now, consider the following. When I ask people, say, hey, start in your phone, what is the first thing we do? We go to our favorites. Don't go to your favorites. Go to Z in your phone. And I want you to send the following text. It'll be right here on the screen to every person in your database, every person in your phone, direct to their cell phone, one-on-one, as in, hey, Sean, hey, Mark, hey, Martha, not trying to do it in some blanket situation because you'll have too many appointments and you won't know what to do with yourself. Here's the text message I want you to send. Hey, Sean, with everything happening in the world, I'm curious, have you had any thoughts of moving up or moving down? I'm talking to so many people about it. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me give it to you again. Hey, Sean, with everything happening in the world, I'm curious, have you had any thoughts of moving up or moving down? I'm talking with so many people about it. Let me know what you're thinking. And bam, you send the text. Now, I've done this live in workshops before where I've literally said, I got $100 to the first person that can book 2 appointments and the seminar is going. And I put the script up on the walls and I say, just start texting people, start at Z, move all the way up. And literally within a matter of minutes, hands are going up all over the room. People are like, look. They said yes, they're thinking about it. What do I send now? I say, you send back, great. What would be the best time for us to get together? Mornings or afternoons? What would be better for you? And you schedule an appointment using text messages. Now, I've been talking about this for 6 or 7 years. We did an entire event around this for a while called Tag the Appointment Game. And the whole thing was just book appointments by putting out a really strong message. Notice it's like with everything happening in the world, they can interpret that any way they want. You're gonna stay neutral because that's how we're smart. And you're watching my KCM videos so you know what's actually happening to real estate home prices. So you're gonna be the educator. Now, you do this, and I promise you 10, 15, 20, 30, and you're gonna have to stop. I've done this in office meetings with clients I work with that are running teams, and I say, look, let's just spend 15 minutes right now, write it out once, copy it, send it to that person, go to the next one, paste, change the name, send, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and then we just sit back and watch. And all of a sudden, ding, 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 ding. In 2019, you can book appointments by reaching out to people that know you, like you, trust you in your database, ask the right question, and boom, get a response. So that's the first thing. Now, that's an easy one. Here's the second one. I would love for you to email your entire database and just in the subject line, everything else below that, truthfully, you got to do your DRE stuff. You got to have your logo and your face and all the things you have in your email. But I really don't want anything else. I just want in the email subject line, ready? Name, so it's got to be personalized. Name, have you had any thoughts of selling in 2019 or 2020? Have you had any thoughts of selling in 2019/20 question mark and hit send. Now, if you have 100 people inside your database, we know the numbers today, you're gonna have 27 to 35% are even gonna open it. The balance aren't even gonna open the email and not even get a grasp of it. But if you got 27 to 35 people that just got that, and of that group, 10 or 15% respond to you instantaneously with a no, that's okay. Some won't respond, but you'll see that they opened it. How many do you need? How many yeses do you need? Hey, we've actually been thinking about it. Funny you brought it up. They're literally on the subway going, God, we just discussed this last night. Like, how did you know? And you'll get some, how did you know? And you're like, look, I'm just doing my job. The market's making adjustments. My job is to keep you informed and empowered. What would be the best time for us to meet? And you stay in email with them because you know what happens, right? We've all experienced this before. You text somebody, hey, with everything happening in the world, have you guys had any thoughts of trading up or trading down? Like, you guys thinking about making a move? My phone's blowing up. A lot of people are asking me about it. You had any thoughts? Let me know. Boom, you send it. And they go, OMG, yes, I am. And they do one of these emojis and a heart emoji, right? And then the mistake that I see people make with the first two is they immediately do this. Ring, 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 ring. Hi, you've reached my voicemail. You just text me. You should be texting me, not calling me. Thank you. Click, right? Don't lose what I would call digital rapport or even modality rapport, right? They're in modality of texting. They're doing something else. They're in modality of emailing. They're doing something else. They're in modality of DMing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever else. Stay in the modality that you're in, the medium, if you will, and you're going to do better. So those are the first two. Now, can I just get some buy-in there? Like, give me some comments, give me some thoughts, right? Can you spend that 9 to 11, I don't know, spend 15 minutes and text 48 people? Copy, paste, change the name, send, copy, paste, change the name, send, and then watch what happens. Let me know how many appointments you get. And if you have a really large database, I talked to a client recently, they have 200,000 people. Now they're a Boomtown user. They're one of the early Boomtown users that, they've got so many people in their database. It's bananas to even imagine that many emails in one agent's database. You can't send all of them at once because you could not handle the response if 27 to 35% of the people even opened the email and 10 or 15% said, no, take me off your list. If that happened, heaven forbid, right? By the way, that stuff happens. It's okay. Don't take it personally. And then 10 or 15% say, yeah, I'm thinking about it. You couldn't handle the hundreds of inquiries, the hundreds of responses. So I say, if you got a large email list, start small. Send 100, send 200, send 300 at a time, and allow it to just sort of percolate in their email list and deal with the responses as they come in. Don't overwhelm yourself. Those are the first two. Very easy. Gonna get you appointments just like this. All you gotta do, copy, paste, send. You with me? The last one. I would love, if you're like, I'm not really into email and text messages, Tom, I want to fax people, or I'm a phone person, or I'm a face-to-face person. I'm with you. I got another one. I want you to personally call every person you sold a house to 2 to 5 years ago. I talked about it briefly on last week's show. Every person you sold a house to 2 to 5 years ago, and there's 3 questions you should ask every one of them. 3 questions. Question number 1, have you had any thoughts of selling? Have you had any thoughts of selling? Just like in that email subject line. Hey, Sean, thinking about you, catching up. How you guys doing? What's going on? You still surfing? I love watching your videos. You're so amazing. When are you going to get married? What's going on, right? I just a little shout out there on the Tom Ferry Show. By the way, I got to ask you, you guys live in that, that condo today. Have you guys had any thoughts of selling, trading up to a house? And all of a sudden, boom, you're in the dialogue. And you might say, no, we're not really sure. And then I can ask the second question. Hey, at what price would you become a seller? That is my favorite question. At what price would you become a seller? By the way, another backup question is, at what price are you no longer a seller for some of your overpriced listings? At what price would you become a seller? And then the third question is, well, you must know someone who's had thoughts of selling. Pause. You must know someone who's had thoughts of selling. Pause. By asking those 3 questions, you're going to drum up a ton of connection, opportunity, and of course, appointments. And that's what this is all about. Now, those are super easy. I promise you, they're going to be easy. Now, let me give you a little psychological hack that I've done forever, and it's served myself and hundreds of thousands of people. Ready? Everybody says the same thing. I got a little fear of the phone, Tom. I got a little fear of the phone, right? A little fear of the phone. And my response is, don't ask for less fear, ask for more courage. I don't want less fear. Fear is sometimes a good thing. It keeps me from jumping out the window or doing something stupid. But in this case, I want more courage. So how do I generate courage? How can I generate courage? 3 easy things. The first thing is, when you're in a courageous state, I'm about to make the phone call. Is this courageous? Or is this courageous? Is this courageous? Is imagining a cape on my back? Dun, 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 right? Now you might say that's silly. My response is, listen, what's more silly? Being afraid of making a phone call or standing like this? I would argue being afraid of making a phone call, considering you're in the sales business, is relatively insane. You with me? But I get it. We all got fears, which is why I just know if I stand like this, I imagine myself with a cape, and yes, I even have clients that'll put capes on and make their phone calls, Wonder Woman, Superman. It's smart. It's a game. It's the alter ego that my buddy Todd Herman wrote about in his fabulous book. The second thing is you ask yourself a great question. Now we know basically, your focus is determined by the questions that you ask yourself. What am I grateful for? That's a great question. Who do I love? Who loves me? Those are great questions. But when it comes to generating courage, I want you to ask, what do I love about helping people? What do I love? And literally, I'm about to call this prospect, I'm about to call this person. I screwed up on their transaction 4 years ago. I'm the only one that remembers. They probably forgot about it, but I'm thinking about the screwed up transaction and maybe what went wrong and the fact that I didn't follow up and I'm embarrassed about that and oh my God, right? And next thing you know, you don't make the phone call, but they're in that 2 to 5 year window and that they're on every portal and they're looking at real estate and every other agent on the planet is currently marketing to them, except for you, the one that sold them a house. You with me on this? So I got to interrupt the pattern. And I asked myself, what do I love about helping people? God, what do I love? There's nothing better than handing a first-time buyer their key. There's just nothing better than negotiating that deal and navigating through the transaction and watching the sellers go through the emotion and helping them make the right decision, do the right thing, get the price, get the deal done. I love it. I feel great when I help people. Then I ask this question, what am I committed to on this call? What am I committed? And I will actually talk to myself. I am so committed to helping my client right now move forward, make a good decision, get their home on the market. Because you know what? When you're indecisive, you miss out on opportunities. This is the right time for them to sell. I'm going to call. And you talk yourself into it by asking yourself a better quality question. And if you need another one, if you truly need another one, while you're dialing the phone, I have literally said to myself 8 million times, I'm dialing the phone, it's like ring, and I'm like, I'm a lean, mean appointment setting machine. I'm a lean, mean appointment setting machine. I'm a lean, mean, hello, hey Tom, and I go right into my phone call. Now you might say to me, Tom, that all sounds a little silly, and I'm gonna remind you again, what's more silly, being afraid of making phone calls to your database or doing some psychological hacks that get you to take action and be in an inspired state and help more people and have an extraordinary finish to the year and get ready for a great 2020. You decide. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, always your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your ability to book more appointments. That's what absolutely rules.